All right, guys, we're back. Technical difficulties. Hopefully everybody can jump back on here. We actually had 8 people watching. That was pretty nice for such a late live stream. All right, we'll see if we can get back to it. We were inside the van working on the Tetravan shower, and I pulled the desk way too close and shut the power off. So that was kind of a dumb thing, but we're back in here. So yeah. So that's what we're doing right now. Working on the Tetravan shower, and I pulled the desk way too close and shut the power off. So yeah, I shut the power off, and I'm back live again. That's what we're doing right now. Okay, here we go. So we're testing the water here. Let's go. So let's try hot first. Okay, we're maintaining pressure. Okay, so the supply is good on the hot. We're gonna do cold. Right, that's the wrong one. Where are we at? Yep. Let's do this one. Okay, that's hot. Do cold. We're just cracking the valve. We don't go crazy here. Okay. So whenever you hear the pump turn off, that means it's pressurized. Or it's maintaining pressure, and nothing's leaking by. So now when I go to open the valve on the right-hand side right there, we'll have the same thing, but now it's going to come out this faucet. And so I don't know which side is hot and, on and off, so we just go nice and easy. Okay, go to the other side. Okay, now we're going to do the wand. I'll switch over to the other side, the other temperature. Oh, this is nice. We got shower or stream. Okay, happy with that. So we're going to open this up and have it drain into the drain. I'm going to go check over here, the gray tank. Okay, we got some water coming out here. Looking good. Now, if you're wondering, I've already done this, but when you do like a road test, you know, you want to come back and take it apart again and just double check. Because the road is where all the stuff is moving around, bumps and stuff like that. So back here, we're good. Our input lines. Let's see. Yep, I'm happy with them. Okay, so we'll shut this off. We're going to go release the pressure. All right, so hose is all good. We're going to take our Havelock, stuff it back in here. Like that. Okay. All right, so that is all set. We can sleep at night now because the plumbing behind the wall is good to go. And so, Jim, if you ever have the need to take this off, put it on the right side first, and then let the right side kind of guide you in, and that'll keep the that'll keep you from scuffing the paint. All right, so next, just gotta put this back on. So I didn't break the other camera. I'm gonna jump to it in just a second. If you guys were here earlier, I kind of dropped it on the floor, unplugged the cable, and then somehow managed to shut down the whole live stream rig. So. Also doing a new procedure over here. So for my stainless 80-20 button head cap screws, I used to use Loctite, and that's a big no-no because that I've now learned, and that's because if you want to have something to have access, the Loctite is going to really, it's going to add to galling the threads if you ever take the stainless steel bolts out. So what I've done is changed over to lock washers on the exterior, but then copper antices on the bolts. on the interior. Okay, so that is now all good to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's put our shower up for the moment and move on to the next part of the process. Well, it's not really a process. It's my checklist. That's all. Come on. Oh, look at that. Okay. So see the faucet hangs up in there. And we can just take this out and we can actually close everything up in there. I wouldn't recommend that. I'm keeping it in there because we're gonna, when they come up tomorrow morning, we're gonna do this whole process over again, showing them what to do. Okay, next step. Got that done. Perfect. Let me pop in. Okay, we'll do that later. Okay, so next I need zip ties. Do a little bit of cable management. See if I can do cable management without ruining my 3D, my webcam over here. Vancam, there we go. Vancam is back. Okay. So up here we've got our appliance garage, which is kind of what we call it. Let's see, I'm actually let's move the camera over. Now you guys can kind of see. I'm still kind of over here on this side. So I'm just making sure that this monitor will close, but not on the cable. Yep, perfect. All right, and this is a locking mount. Pretty cool. I'll make some adjustments tomorrow when Jim gets here because there's some adjustments that we can make as far as going in and out. Over here, you guys can't see it, but this is actually, okay, I'm not gonna drop it. Let me just see if I can move this. So right in here, we wanted to have an outlet here so that we could charge phones and stuff like that. So this is a 60 watt fast charge USB-C. They advertise it as 60. It's actually 50 on paper because this over here is a 10 watt USB-A. Then it's got two household plugs, and then we got a little opening here. We got the power supply for the monitor, and then we've got this actually will display on this TV in the rear. If you wanted to. I had the chance to run this, and then I ran it. So if for some reason you wanted to put the laptop over here behind this, plug it in, and then like watch a movie, for example. Okay, so it's gonna be hard to see this, but we're just gonna, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 4. So earlier today I needed to run a different cable in the back. And I had to partially move the microwave out and then put it back in. So what I'm doing now is just putting the microwave back. I mean, putting the bolts back in. And I have a clutch setting on my drill, so it's not stripping the screw for anybody that is kind of maybe new to power tools. You can set the clutch so that you don't over torque the screws coming in. And I'm actually using automotive screws from like O'Reilly's or Advanced Auto Parts, and they're stainless steel screws. So if you have a hard time finding stainless steel screws, you can kind of cheat and go to your local auto parts store, and they'll have them in a kit. So we went the Rec Pro microwave. It's a convection microwave oven. It's 1500 watts, so it does crank. It does need a lot of juice. So, but we have the EcoFlow 10,000 kilowatt hour power system, and that is it's going to be just perfect. And we're just pretty much going to the front to the back and just checking on everything. So now it's time to take off the protective coating. Go really easy on this. It's not because you want to damage it. It's because you don't want to not be able to like break something and not be able to like pull the whole thing out. And so that's what I'm talking about, but it wasn't important in this section because this one we're actually going to open the door to get this off. Yeah, and that's just going to come off. And also the reason I went with Rec Pro is it's the dimensions of this microwave, and also it has this stainless steel bezel. I really like how it matches. I don't like the black painted microwaves, unless you're doing a black painted refrigerator setup. I was hoping to give you guys a wider shot. I don't really have like a lot of working room in here. If you guys have van questions, you can ask them. Now it's going to be interesting to see if Jim and Linda want to reverse the door. My thought is, I always keep drinks in here. So if I'm sitting in the dinette, I'm going to want to get up and open the door and then shut it this way. I'm not going to be typically sitting at the front of the van if I had a dinette, but that's just me. But 4 bolts, you can slide this out. It does take a minute. It's not a quick thing to change that, but I need to put that on my list, delivery list next time. That's something to ask ahead of time. Yeah, so after this, we're going to make our way. I'm gonna warm up the. I want to say warm up. I'm gonna purge the Webasto gasoline-fired heater because it was an empty tank when I installed it, so I'm pretty sure we need to run the pump for a little bit to get it, get the air out of the system. So we'll either do that next, or we will go back to the back of the van and put the lid back on the top of the water tank. So I'm actually going to typically just take the door off the one side just so I can get this laser paper off. It's like a laser cutting paper. It's basically a plastic to protect it when it's in the manufacturing process, and they just leave it on there for delivery, which makes sense. It's just a pain to get off. I leave it to the last minute. But also, you know, going back and forth in the van, you don't want to accidentally scratch this. That would just be terrible. Okay, so we've just got oh yeah, so the power system, I will show that. This is, we've got an EcoFlow power system, 10,000 kilowatt hour, and it's actually built into this fridge stack, or what I'm calling a fridge stack, this microwave fridge stack. All right, before I completely have the door fall off on me, make it a nice padded location for the door to sit on. But yeah, it's an EcoFlow Independence Kit. It's 10,000 kilowatt hours. And the 10,000, basically what that means is when we're talking EcoFlow, it's a kit where they give you two 5,000 kilowatt hour batteries. 5,000 kilowatt hour batteries they're typically, that is almost a little over 400 amp hours, which would be 4 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate batteries, and it's a good chunk of power. So you can kind of think it's just a little over 800 amp hours. All right, so we are, oh, thanks. Yeah, I wish I could give you a bigger view of everything. I'll try to I might change the camera up here in a minute. I don't have a tripod. I have one, but it's been a little wild in the shop trying to get everything caught up around here. So, all right, so see, I just took that one plate off the top, and that allows me to take the door off. And then I'll switch over here to the back. There we go. And so now we can come in here and neatly take this annoying stuff off. Yeah, but the power system, I really like the EcoFlow setup. It's great for builders because and customers too, because the install time is quicker. But the cost is higher because it's an all-in-one system. Some people don't like it. Some people don't like it because it's kind of like a black box, and that's understandable. But my decision on that for my customers is the interface is super simple to use, and so if you're somebody that doesn't really care about all the wow, I take that back. This system, you can get super detailed, nerdy on this whole thing. But like if you have your heart set on a Victron system, you're probably not going to change your mind. That's kind of how it goes. And I know I'm putting my fingerprints on this, but I have some special wipes that I'm going to give to Jim and Linda, and they're specifically for stainless steel. Okay, that is our door. So let's pick it up. Look at that. Super, super nice. Oh, yeah. I got one more piece of sticker I got to get off. Yeah, but if you're not really worried about maintaining the system on your own and you kind of just want something you can kind of set it and forget it, the EcoFlow is a good product. Oh yeah, let me finish my thought. The reason I was okay with recommending it to customers is the wholesaler that I get it from, I kind of gauged if I wanted to use it by how much they kept on inventory at any given time. And let's just say it was quite a bit. So that made me confident that they're moving the units and they're going to most likely support it. You got to really caution yourself with the van industry in general. There's companies that they start up, kind of gone tomorrow, and then you got companies that are in it for a long time. You got companies that are more on the RV side, like big RV, and then you've got high-end companies that their stuff's really expensive, but really expensive is it's hard to say it's really expensive because the materials are usually good, but also you got to think about they're not moving that many SKUs or products, because the industry is not that gigantic. I mean, it's big, don't get me wrong, but a company that makes kitchen galleys, they might only sell maybe a couple hundred a year. So they got to, that operating cost has to be put into something. But then there's something kind of like an Apple tax in the RV, in the overland, adventure van world where everything just costs a lot of money. I don't have a web store, but I do have, so the channel you're watching is Vanbuilder HQ, and what I'm trying to say, Odyssey Custom Vans is the business building vans right now. So my business is Odyssey Custom Vans. Vanbuilder is what I use to teach you guys how to build vans on your own. And then if you give up, you can call me and I'll build your van. So it's kind of like a little saying, if you want to call it that. All right, so now we're done with this. We're happy. Okay. Oh man, looks so good. Okay, so refrigerator's in here. So now we can very carefully put these screws back in. So if you're gonna mess up putting a refrigerator back in, or any nice appliance, it's gonna be when you go to drill and you accidentally shift off your path and you stab whatever you're working on. So I make it to where I stab my finger and I don't stab whatever I'm installing. Okay, so we made our way from the front. We're coming to the back. Something I didn't show you in the front is we have this is a customer's idea, but up front we've got a dash, like security system type web security camera, and what we've done is we've installed it on the sides of the van out here, right there, and we've wired 3 cameras into that screen. And so this thing's wild. Like when you're driving it, you've got get the camera back down. So when you're driving it, you've got 3 cameras, and then when you go when you put the backup camera on, you get like a front camera, a back camera, 3 side cameras. It's pretty good. So let's see if I can show you there. Yeah. Yeah, it's that screen right there in the back. Okay. Making our way back here. We're all happy with that. So let's go up to the appliance garage, and I need to do a little bit of cable management. So believe it or not, this coffee maker right here was the design constraints for this whole kitchen galley stack. I'm not kidding you. So we needed to make sure that this particular coffee machine would fit without jamming when you're kind of going over here. And we did it. We made it work. So let's take all this stuff out. All right, so the first bit of cable management is our Starlink. So we have Starlink up here. So there's a box up here. It's really cool. It will allow you to kind of clamp all this Starlink stuff together. So first I'm going to so this network cable, the Starlink is mounted on the roof, and I'm sure Jim and Linda will watch this video later. I'll talk to them about this tomorrow, but we wanted to have the Starlink like be able to be bolted and unbolted type of thing. But you do need tools to get it off. So it does make it very secure. It's it'd be very challenging for somebody to come and grab it. So I know a lot of people worry about that, like people stealing that stuff, but this would take some work, I guess is what I'm saying. So hopefully when we chat, we can talk about how it's not a permanent fixture, but it's going to be a fixture that we don't want to continuously move all the time. Okay. So now we're going to snap this back into place. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me pull the camera up. This, see without unplugging it. So this Starlink mount. Let's see here. Right there, a Starlink mount. It's this part snaps here, and then this thing snaps in the bottom. And then we have our power supply over here, and then we have our computer monitor here. And I wanted to stuff all that stuff into the I'm trying to. Oh, Linda's on. You guys are up late. How do I? All right, you guys are just gonna have to imagine I'm working on what you just saw. But yeah, so I wanted to put all this stuff inside where the microwave and stuff was. There's just no room in there. So this is where everything's going to go. But yeah, Linda, I'm glad you guys are watching tonight. I'm excited too to see you guys tomorrow. And don't worry about me. I'm a night owl. This is what I do. It's my last night with your van until you guys take it away from the shop. So all right, let's see if we can slide this power block in there. There we go. Yeah, but this holder is really nice up here. Okay. So let's zip tie this guy together. So Linda, if you guys are watching tomorrow, we'll need to get a password. I use the password you guys gave me in the email for Starlink, and the router showed up on my phone, but I couldn't get in with the whatever password I guess I was using. But we'll do that tomorrow. Let's see here. All right, that's good. You guys are welcome. Yeah, we want to make sure everything is all set before tomorrow. I washed the van. The van's clean. It's got a full tank of gas. So you guys are ready to go. That'll give us more time to kind of go through some stuff, download the apps, all that good stuff. All right. Okay, Starlink is almost completely cable man. I got one more cable. To him, and I've got that rig set up, but just not really happy with the GoPro at the moment. It's just, it overheats like crazy, and so I've kind of gone through two of them, and so now that's why I'm using this Insta360 camera you see here, because it's not giving me any problems. Okay. There we go. We've got Starlink plugged in. By the way, Starlink and computer monitor are on the same circuit. So if you need to turn the breaker on and off, it's on that circuit. And then we've got this diagram right here this is a list of all of the 12-volt circuits in the van. And then down here is the 110. So you can call circuits kind of whatever you want. There's 110 volt. The range is pretty much from 110 to 125. If anybody is wondering. So. Oh, by the way, so Jim and Linda, when you watch this in the future, there's a 3-outlet branch out up here, and so there is one more space to. There's one more plug up here if you needed to do like a laptop or phone or something like that. Um, so let's see if I can lift up here, show you progress. This webcam is not happy with me. There you go. So we're getting cleaned up, and there's that outlet on the left-hand side of the screen. So next I'm going to do the come on. Next I'm going to do the monitor. Okay. Okay, so let's get this zip tied. Let's get this zip tied. Sorry for the few, guys. We will get back to a view of van parts here in just a second. I don't really have any other camera angle at the moment. But again, it's a good time to ask van questions, van build questions, if you guys are curious. Until I actually get over to the next part of the van. Okay, all right, happy with that. That's nice and neat. All right, so now we can, okay, I need to make a note to myself. I got a wood block I need to put, wood block, top left fridge. Yeah, just a little 2x4 block up there. So, okay, excellent. That is good to go. Let's see what is next here. Let's put the coffee pot back up here. Our coffee mug. I mean, glass brewer. And they've got a little stand for their Starlink. All right, checking the list off. All right, let's move back to, see if I have enough stretch. Yep. All right. Perfect. All right, so before I do a final cut on this Webasto, let's go ahead and prime. Okay, so underneath these cushions, we've got access to the Webasto. There's a couple things that we need to access. We don't really need fuses or anything like that. to be accessed. All right, let me get super wide here. Let's get some entertaining shots. There we go. So these are custom cushions by Rome Rest. Met those guys a couple years ago at Overland Expo. What was it? So many expos. Okay, so inside here, we've got access to. So one thing I need to do, I'm gonna do some of this stuff off camera because it's gonna be late, but just gotta get done. So one is this extra wire that needs to go on the second breaker. This is for the Starlink and the computer monitor. I just decided to move it earlier. Kind of expand it to keep that one outlet free for the desk. So I'm just coming under here. We've got that tight. That's all tight. 1, 2, 3 fuses. Fuses are good. So this is our EcoFlow display up here. Looks really, really nice. And let me know in the chat whenever my microphone dies. That's pretty much when I'll have to recharge it. Okay, EcoFlow. There we go. Let's go on output. So for output, we need to look at circuit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Circuit 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so 10. All right, we've got power. So I'm going to go under and inspect the fuel situation. So what I'm doing under here, you can't see anything, obviously. But what I'm doing is there's a filter line under the van that goes to the Webasto, and it's a fuel filter. And what we want to do is, well, heck, look at that. Well, that's good. This actually might work. Might not actually have to prime it. So I filled up the fuel tank. I topped it off today. I got these guys full, and they have the big full fuel tank actually. It's 27 gallons. I think mine's like 23. Okay, so indeed, this clip I have loose on purpose because typically this is where I have to take it off to purge the air. I still might have to do that. You can get away with doing it. It just takes longer, so you can do it without doing like using a vacuum pump. It is possible, but I'm trying not to do that. I think this is a Of course, this is probably an 8mm. I was using an 8mm earlier today, so let's see if I can find it. And I appreciate everybody watching the live stream. It is late tonight. So although I love doing this, I very much appreciate the company with you guys hanging out. So it's really nice. Okay, so I'm under here. What do we got here? Oh, come on. What is this, a 6? 7? What? I keep forgetting that this Webasto stuff is very odd. The hose clamps that come with the kit. You could put standard fuel clamp hoses on there, but typically you're going with the kit. All right, where did it go? Let's get a drum roll here, see if we can make this happen. Let's get, okay, we get a 7. It's gotta be 7. But we will bring the whole kit. Okay, so I'm gonna try to narrate down here. So I'm underneath the van. There is a fuel filter for the Webasto. And because I topped off the fuel tank, it looked like it pushed a little bit of fuel through the line because I have fuel in the fuel filter. It's not a bad thing. It's actually very good. Because that means that I can possibly just let the fuel pump run through a couple cycles. It's going to fail. It's going to give an error code. It's okay. But let it go through a couple cycles and then it should be good to go. Okay, excellent. Okay, that's good. That's good. Just checking, triple checking. This is gasoline, guys. I'm gonna make sure everything is nice. Nice, good. That's all good. Exhaust, that's good. Check, check. All right. Now, I've got a big garage, or pretty big for me. And so I have, I'm coming back in the van now. We're just gonna run it for a little bit to let it purge out the, get the air out of the line and go through a startup sequence. And then once we're happy with everything, we don't need to move the hose. We'll be good. Okay, here we go. So let's see if I can connect to the Webasto app. It's called Smart Temp. There we go. Okay, I recommend using the Webasto app. You can use the controller, but the app is just better. It's just better. Then it's going to pop up an access code. Pop in the access code. STC 2000. Bingo, save. Go home. So I'm going to go outside, under the van here, and I'm going to watch it do its thing safely. And we'll get a little light off, and then, but tomorrow when they come, we'll run it for a while. And if you're not using it, you need to at least run it 1 hour once a month is what the manufacturer recommends, just to keep everything burned out clean. Okay. All right, here we go. We're going to turn the unit on. So I hear it running. Okay. I'm waiting for the fuel pump to kick on. There you go. Fuel pump is pumping. Speed is ramping up. It's possible it might not fail. It actually might work. And I need to move the temperature up to like 80. There you go. 80, save. Still down here. So it's cycled off. Let's see if it gives us an error code. So it's going through a restart cycle. Okay, yeah, FO1 no start. And this means it didn't get enough fuel to start. So it's gonna go through a cycle and turn itself off. So I think what I might do is just come back under here. I've got fuel in the fuel filter though, so I usually always purge it, but since we filled up with gas, it kind of pushed a little bit into the fuel filter like I was saying, and it's possible that it could have started, but decided not to. Let me get my little air purge. If I can find it. It's basically a brake bleeder kit for a car. And you just hook it up, bleed it, and then get the air out. Let's see if we got it in this box over here. Okay, so I did its FO1 no start. We'll give it a second and then it will reset, like I said. We're going to be getting our ratchet, and I think I'm going to go ahead and get the air out of those lines. It seems to be the best thing to do. I know it's the best thing to do, but sometimes you want to try it the hard way. All right, let's see. Let's get our instead of a brake bleeder kit, I'm doing something a little different. Using a multi-use transfer pump. It's a manual multi-use, so we're just going to manually kind of suck the fuel into the fuel filter. That is the plan. Okay, so let's just get a little cup to put this in. We'll be back in just a minute. We'll be back in the van. Let the heater warm up. Also, the no start, another thing you want to do is on the Ford Transits, I use an adapter that goes into the auxiliary fuel port on the fuel pump. And it is possible that when you get low fuel in your engine, that you will get some air into the line. And if you do that, you'll be right back where I'm at right now. Which is, there's nothing bad or dangerous about it. It's just, okay, so hold on. The unit's starting up again. Actually, I'm going to turn it off. There we go. Let's get out of the app so we don't accidentally turn it back on again. Okay, so we're going to undo hose clamp. Let's move over. Hopefully we don't get any gas on us. Won't be the end of the world, but try to avoid it if possible. Okay, yep, we don't have, definitely don't have enough fuel coming in here, so let us fix that problem. Oh, look at that. That's a nice little hack. Question is, will that work? So basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the air out of the fuel filter. I think I did it. But did I get fuel on my shirt? Of course I did. There you go. It's okay. Let's throw that in the laundry. We'll be all right. Okay, I got the little thing of air out of the fuel filter. It looks like it is gonna work with us right now. let that evaporate here for a minute. Okay, 2 minutes. I will be back in the frame. I'm just making sure that you got the fumes to kind of dissipate, and then the little extra that was around the filter. It's nice and dry. Okay, I feel good. Here we go. So let's go Webasto. Scanning, synchronizing. Here we go. Okay, no leaks. Everything looks safe. On. Temperature set at 80. Save. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's the pump right there. Let me move the microphone. There we go. Awesome. Oh, come on now. Sometimes it times out right about when it's about to hit off. I'm going to open the garage door a little bit. Okay, it's still on, hasn't timed out yet. All right, now I'm back to hanging out with you guys. Let's see here. So this is the app. It's on, it's heating. So it's going through it's gonna try one more time, and then it may time out. Let's see if we actually have anybody watching still. All right. There you go, we got some people. What do you use for hot water? There is a Bosch 7-gallon hot water heater in this particular van. I typically use like a 2.5 or 3-gallon. Okay, let's check it out. All right, I think it's happy. Oh yeah. We're firing up for the first time. Now that we're fired, let's see. Everything's safe, running good. All right, let's go in the van. Let's check out how are we doing inside the van. Oh yeah. So we got heat. So I blow sawdust in my eyes. Excellent. Okay, it feels good. I'm gonna let this run for a minute. Just triple check in, you just want to make sure you didn't goof on something and not have the proper clearance for the hose and whatnot. I mean, typically wherever this hose is after the unit, I never usually worry about it like melting anything, but I think what I'm going to do is right here. I like it like that, right there. So I think that's where I'm going to cut it. I have to go and get this wood sawdust out of my eyes. So it will suck up whatever is in the area. There's like a grid, but there's not actually like a filter or something like that to filter the air. So, okay. Webasto, it's alive, it's doing well. Fantastic. Okay, we can check it off our list. I'm going to turn it off. So, just a touch of the button. Right there. And it goes ahead and shuts itself off. Whatever you do, don't disconnect the power from it when it's going to a shutdown cycle. It can damage the unit. The shutdown cycle needs to run the fan after it's extinguished, and it will blow over the unit and to cool it down safely. So just need to make sure you do that. All right. I have to go wash this out of my eye. It's annoying. Okay, I'm happy with that. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the collar for this. I'm going to cut that, get the panel back on. That'll be done. I'll start working my way back this way. I'm going to wire this cable in. EcoFlow app's working, van's running, Webasto's good. Haven't turned the fridge on. I'll do that here in a second. Yeah, the only thing to do is to test these outlets over here. Let's do that. Let's do that while you guys are here, still on camera. Or whoever's left. I know it's getting late. Okay, so we got these outlets over here. It's a pretty clever design. That is like a it's a locked latch it's kind of like where they have like hotel air conditioner thermostat control, so guests and people won't mess with them. But this one is for outlets. And so they have grandkids. They want to come and travel. So this is going to keep them from sticking stuff in here. Now, yes, the challenge is to keep up the key. So this panel door opens. We've got 2 circuits here. And I've already tested the circuit where the monitor is. So let's just test this circuit. So I'm going to go grab my circuit tester. By the way, the Webasto is going to smell really weird when you first crank it up. All right, so I got some Klein tools right here, and this is my super fancy circuit tester. I can just turn that guy on, and it will give you an error as far as the ground goes. Because unless you're plugged into shore power, you're not going to have a ground. So just be aware of that. Okay, so let's look at our schematics. Hot water. So kitchen 1 and kitchen 2. So I labeled the kitchen, but I didn't label which one is 1 or 2. So let's do 1 first. Let's see how that works out for us. Let's see if the 1 is the 1. 1 is 1 on the left. It'd be great if it was. Doesn't really matter if it doesn't. Okay, so it must be the second one. Let's just see. Oh yeah. Let's cut that off. It would help if we had the AC inverter on. So now the AC inverter's on. You just heard the beep of the microwave. I have the microwave direct wired into the EcoFlow. It is protected, but when the EcoFlow AC turns on, microwave turns on. Just so we can be more efficient with outlets, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we got 7 outlets, and we just needed to be more efficient with them. Okay, here we go. Let's go back into number 1. Hopefully this is number 1. Yeah, look at that. Awesome. So this one is, yeah, it's good for kids. And it will, so the outlets are protected. It's got the little, but they can still push past that stuff. So we get a green light, we're good to go. So we'll shut that off. Green light goes off. It says correct. We're going to go to number 2. All right, green light means it's correct. All right, there you go. So I'm happy about that. Let's just do the monitor. I mean, not the monitor, the desk one. I know it's right, but let's just, yep, correct. Okay. Okay, outlets, safe. Let's get the top one. Oh, wait, I haven't wired it yet, so I will come back and wire that. Okay. All right, next we're going to, let's wait 1 more minute. It'll be 12:40 my time, and we'll time the hot water heater. We'll see how long it takes for us to get some hot water. You got plenty of water down there, so we should good. Okay. Here we go. Come on. Change time. Oh yeah, the hot water circuit. Let's turn that on. That is 1, 2, 3, third breaker. So here we go. Turn it on. We also want to look at. Let's see if I can manhandle this real quick. Dang it. There we go. So we also want to look at when we turn the hot water heater on, we want to see this number go up. So 19, just consider 19 as 0. So let's turn it on. Okay, we're going to turn it on. Here we go. Switch. Bam. So 1.55 kilowatts, 1,555 watts is what that's pulling. Okay. So now we're just going to wait, and we're going to see how long that's going to take to actually do something. Let's turn this back on. So now that we're at the EcoFlow, let's sorry, there we go. So the EcoFlow system, if we go to the system screen, you got 2 things, input, output. Input is going to be all your inputs. Alternator 1, alternator 2. So basically, the first 3 are kind of the same system. They take in certain voltages, and then you can have it as a solar input or an alternator input. So there's a voltage range, and then it senses that range and then decides on it if it's, solar or DC to DC essentially. So we have the first 2 as alternators, and they're on. And then we've got the next one is solar, and the next one is shore power. Now this is AC because we don't have a shore power plugged in, but AC means the inverter is on. So if we go back here, our output is what's drawing power. And right now, at 96% battery, we can run this water heater for 6 hours and 4 minutes. Now obviously, it's going to cycle at some point, so you could probably almost double that number once it gets to a high temperature. So if you want to cheat a little bit, about 30 minutes before you get to your campground, just pop the hot water heater on, and then you'll basically have your alternators powering that, and you won't have to rob power from your battery. So let's go to output. So output, we got 1.54 kilowatts. And I mean that's just what it's using. It's pretty straightforward. It's power in, power out. There you go. Also, we got a little warning up here, and it says replace fuse channel 11, replace fuse channel 12. Well, guess what? Nothing's connected to that. And what they want you to do is they want you to populate that fuse with something. They just want something there. So I'm probably just going to put like 2 5-amp fuses, or maybe 2 20-amp fuses. It doesn't really matter what goes there because there's nothing connected. It just wants to have that filled up so it can be happy. So this is the fuse panel. And, hold on. Let's see. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. It wants these two fuses to be populated. And then we have all of our breakers here. So this is all the 110 circuits. The black are 20 and the white are 30 amp. So we have our hot water on the on the 20, and then the 30 is what we're going to use for our Starlink and monitor. Not that it needs 30, it's just this is the only one we have left to use. So we do have a heavy duty extension cord that will allow us to use that. Let's see, where else am I? And then these lights are lit up. And this panel here comes off, and then all the wiring's back there. So when I go to wire this, you'll see, I don't know if I'll do it on camera tonight, because I'm probably going to take a break, grab some food, and come back. I'll probably be up all night. It's okay. It's just what I do. It's delivery day. I got to make sure everything is just super perfect. All right, so let's back up here. We've been on for 5 minutes. And let's just run a little bit of water. I don't know which one's hot and cold. We'll let it go. We'll let it sit for 10 minutes. We'll get a fighting chance. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and let's get that get a razor, and let's get the heater taken care of. Or the Wabasto. And by the way, guys, I am Wabasto certified. So if you guys are needing Wabasto help, well, I don't want to say help, support. I can help. I have a consultation link in the description below. Hopefully I put it there. If not, you can go to Odyssey Custom Vans and go to consultation, or go to the inquiry. There's an unpaid, which is the inquiry to become a new customer, and there's a paid link where you can reserve time. And I do have a little bit of a line on that, so just bear with me, be patient. I'm trying to get to everybody. Obviously right now I'm getting this van delivered, and then hopefully by next week I can reach out to everyone that has been kind of waiting to connect. Okay, right now I'm looking for a hose clamp that I had and that somehow ran away. I have to rob a hose clamp off one of my Fernco fittings. Yeah, I can't wait until we get caught back up here. Yeah, just a lot of good things happening. You know, everything's good here at the shop. It's just Vans have a lot of details, a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So that's what's nice about these live streams, is you guys get to really kind of immerse yourselves in what's going on. Okay, razor, let's go. Tricky thing about the panel that I'm going to currently be working on, I'll move the camera down, but it's finding that sweet spot between let's see here. It's finding that sweet spot between the panel and so right here you can see behind the panel, before I made the hole, I have laid out where my drill points were, so I could, put the hole in the correct orientation. So let's see here. It is highly possible that your hose clamp is actually falling down. Nope. Okay, so now we're about here. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. We got to figure out. I'll get my phone back out so I can see your chat. We're going to put this in like that. And this thing rotates, so we can figure out what orientation we want it to be in. But we got to figure out where we want this guy, so that when we pull this out, it's supported, so it's not laying on the ground when it's flush. But there's enough room so that we can take a okay, I think that's it. There's enough room so we can take a tool, and take the hose clamp off. So that's what we got to take into account. So I feel like right there, I think that's where we want it to be. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Let's cut it. Let's see, right there. It's nice. Pulls out. Okay, right there. Japanese steel. OLFA. Best razor. A razor knife. Okay. Can I convince this hose clamp to work with me here? It's so close. Oh, that was a problem. He's coming out of his groove. I thought that thing was fine. Okay. Let's find it where it wants to be, right there. And I actually need to screw this in place on the other side. Like some set screws, essentially. That is where that wants to be. Okay, so now I need to get my 1/2 inch stainless screws, and they don't have to be stainless. I happen to have 1/2 inch stainless. See if I can just do this by hand. We want these to be kind of as flush as possible. Some of this one doesn't do it, but some of these will want you to kind of have almost like a flush mount so that the plastic can turn. Now this is a factory Webasto part, but a lot of the stuff you buy for like Chinese diesel heaters on Amazon will they're made differently. And this stuff I'm screwing into is super hard. It's Baltic birch. Okay. This is good. We got our cap. Just gonna snap it on. Come on. It is a tight fit. There we go. Okay. So this is our directional vent. Look, I mean, it looks pretty obvious, but that's what it is. So let's get this foam out of the way, and that way we can actually put this panel back on. So we don't need to access this panel anymore. Behind this panel, that is where the two 5,000 kilowatt hour batteries live. Is behind there. Just triple check. Okay, we're good. Okay, the hose has got good clearance. It's not touching on anything on the inside, which is actually a hard thing to do. So if you can do it, take your time and try to make that happen. All right. And then while it's closed, let's just feel around in the back here. Just want to make sure that we're not touching any wires back here. Okay. So let's go find our square head screws that we're using to bolt that in. And the inverter will run as long as there's something that's drawing that many watts of power. So it's just good to remind yourself to just keep an eye on that. Okay, I found my drill, and we're going to close this panel up. So we need to make sure that these find the pre-drilled area behind here that these things were kind of made for. So you can see, or you can hear that the inverter just turned off, or the cooling fans turned off. So I think our hot water heater is up to temperature. We've got 25 minutes, because it must have switched off. Let's check out our panel. And we've got, 19 watts. So we have hot water now. Let's check it out. Do we have hot water? Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah, it's hot. Nice. I'm telling you what, hot water in a van is like the nicest. It's the nicest luxury. So nice. Cool. We got hot water. Now, is that water hot enough to take a shower? That will be up to Jim and Linda, because they can go in here and adjust the temperature. I forgot what the temperature is set on. I don't know if it's like set on ideal or eco, or let's see here. It is ideal. So they could go up higher. It's up to them. It's on ideal. I will show them how to turn it. Oh yeah, you guys didn't see. This is where the hot water heater is. And if you see, there's a knob right there you can twist. And it's on ideal right now. Right there. You just twist that. So we get our strap down. For real, for real. Now this may look crazy, but I'm telling you, Wago connectors are the way to go. Outlet inside is completely sealed. We got marine grade wiring. That's the way I do it. Wire sized properly, fused sized properly. This will be where the other, induction stove, cutlery, stuff like that. All right, let's put this down for just a second. Let's do a little reset. So we've got everything in the kitchen galley. It is set, ready to go, tested. We do have an electrical cover outlet that we need to, so let's turn off the hot water heater. Let's turn off the breaker to the hot water heater. And then we'll move our way back to putting on the back panels. So we need to, these finished panels, we need to put them back on. Yeah, so pretty much where I'm at for the rest of the night is I got these panels to put on, this to wire, and then I'm just going to bolt in 2 pieces of L-track and the lagoon mounts, and this van is set. So let's hop on the computer really quick. All right, guys, I hope that was a interesting look into the day before a customer pickup. So it is late, but it's custom vans, man. This is what we do. I mean, this is what I do. Because tomorrow we need to be going over apps, connecting apps, stuff like that. There's really nothing to do on that on delivery day, because there's going to be a lot of education and about everything that's all the products in the van. I didn't go over this. So let's see. I'm going to look at this really quick. Think of some questions that you guys might have in the next 5 minutes, and because I need to purge those 2 lines just to make sure. Just to make sure that thing is working correctly. All right, so let's grab our nozzle from the hose. I'll be right back. All right, so we've got little catch basin. We've got, all right, so basically what we're doing is we're testing the this last water thing. Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Yeah, then I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go get some unsweet tea at McDonald's. It's the best. So this is the outlet that this is the special tool that we use from Aqua. It comes with the kit, and it's an on and off valve. And it's a twist connect. So the Aqua system uses these twist connects. So it's a double O-ring seal, and the double O-ring is supposedly to prevent, it leaking when you disconnect it. But you're always going to have a couple of droplets of water. The cool thing about this is we got the ABC rig step trim, and this can just leak in here. It's going to go outside the van. It's not going to harm anything inside the van. It's really cool. So don't worry about this getting rained on or anything. It's super resilient. So now we're going to, we'll test this. So we take it, and then we're just going to take it here. And then you kind of want to think ahead of how the grooves are going to go in. So if you go in straight, it's going to come facing out. So we need to go there. And then when we push in, the valve's closed, we push in, bam. See? Now we got like a little faucet. Isn't that pretty cool? So we're going to keep this closed. So now we're going to test our cold water. Now see how these valves are out? PEX A, we can actually rotate this if we need to. So I'm not going to, because I want, when this is open, I want it to not be catching this. But in the event that because there's going to be a panel here, so obviously this is not going to work. But if you need to shut it off, you can just roll it in and then shut it off. But we want this to be as slim as possible. So let's go ahead and open this. And let's just watch that fitting. Not everybody's perfect. They don't make perfect things, so it could be leaking. So we just got cold open. Do one thing at a time. I'm just going to open it. Okay, that might mean we are getting low on water in the tank. Where are we at? Nah, we look like we're pretty good. We also have a bunch of water line, so it's going to take just a little bit longer. It's not going to be, if this was, think of this as like a balloon. And for it to get the pressure, it pressurizes it, but then there's a little bit of, just barely little expansion everywhere, so it just kind of, that last little bit needs to fill up, and that's that kind of noise you hear. Plus it's variable flow pump, so you're going to have maybe some stuff like that. Okay, I'm looking through here. Let's just feel around. Let's take our time. Oh yeah. We can't have that. So, how do we fix that? Felt. Good old friend, felt. So let's get a little felt pad. And that one sounds like we need a double. Okay. So we've got a felt pad. Adhesive. You've cut it in two. We're going to, I don't know why I didn't do this when I was driving the other day. See that? Can't have that. It's a no-no. So we're going to take this and we're going to wrap the actual fitting itself. Okay, we got the tapping out. And then we're going to take another piece and we're going to put it on this metal. And that will dampen it even further. It's going to do that, roll it in. Okay. Yep. So see, got a little bit of drippage here. So that is from the drain. It's a little drain seal right here. So I just need to tighten it up. There we go. Okay. Also, the floor is waterproof. This is waterproof. In the event something bad happens and the line breaks, don't worry if your van was made here. You'll be fine. All right. There we go. Now we've got it. We got it going on now. Okay. So that's open. I had plenty of time for the cold side to leak if it was going to. So now we're going to move to the hot side. Let the pressure out. So see how the pump is very variable. So watch, if I cut even more. It's pressurizing the whole system. Cuts off. Let's see what I was going to show you guys. Actually, that's pretty much it. Let's see how much. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So this guy right here, we can turn all the way to hot. And now we got hot water. This is so nice. This is so nice. Got hot water, warm, medium, cold water, or hot. Ah! Okay, all right, enough fun. That is good to go. Let's disconnect this. So now we're just gonna, now this is under pressure. So what we want to do is, in a perfect world, we would want to shut the water pump off and then disconnect this. But we're going to live dangerously for a second because I want to see. I use this in the back of vans, but so it usually sprays out the back and doesn't really bother me. But this, so let's see how this operates in a normal place where instead of turning the pump off, you just want to undo this. So let's just see what happens. We're just going to go, which way we're going to go? This way? Let's see, we're going to go that way. That's fantastic. That's great. See? And that's still under pressure. That's really cool. So see, we can take it right there. We can take it. Under pressure. It's off. Yeah, that's nice. But rule of thumb, always, 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 if you're not using your water, turn the water pump off. Don't leave it. Don't leave it till it can be in a running state. I should immediately take it outside. It'd be a mistake to leave it inside. Okay. Let's see if we got. Did you guys give me any questions before I shut down? Can you show the batteries? I've already enclosed them. So here, this is what they look like. I'll show you what they look like on the computer. Okay, so these are the batteries right here. This is what it looks like. So these batteries, you can stack them. So they have like a little power button on. They have a plug, but you don't. The system communicates with the battery. You don't need to be able to access. The only time you need to access the battery is if the system has some reset and it's asking you to hard reset the battery. You need to actually press the button on the battery, but for all other purposes, the system can communicate with the battery regardless of you having to touch this power button. But then there's mounts. You can stack them. We have 2 of these in this van, by the way. And then they're hooked up like this to the inverter charger. And there's some generic picture. All right. Let's see here. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you are watching right now, and appreciate it. If you guys aren't subscribed, go ahead and get subscribed to the channel. Share this video to anybody who's doing their own DIY van and may need some help. I always love answering questions in the comments. And I'll be on here. I don't know if I'll be on here this weekend or not. We're doing another kind of in and out van on Sunday, and then we get back to our regular build schedule Monday, which will be the California build. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's going to do it for us here tonight. And hope you guys enjoy the live stream. Get subscribed, share, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.